This is the third part of the chapter number 6. You can see the page number 8. Our topic is today that we are going to discuss is inverse proportion. We will understand what is this inverse proportion. For example, there are two quantities x and y. X and y, they are in inverse proportion. What does that mean? It means when this increases, this will decrease, and converse, when this decreases, this will increase this quantity. So it is the converse. Whereas in direct proportion, it was when one quantity is increasing, the other quantity is also increasing. Now let's consider here x and y are in inverse proportion. Then what happens to x and y? You can see on the board, if two quantities are in inverse proportion, then when one quantity increases at the same rate as the other quantity decreases. For example, when one doubles, the other halves. So what does it mean? I am writing here x and y, they are in the inverse proportion. As per this statement, when this quantity increases, for example, it increases double, that is, we are multiplying it 2. So what happens to this? We should divide this 2 here. And same, if I am dividing this 2 to this quantity, that is, it becomes half of the quantity. Here what I will do corresponding to this quantity will become double. And same here, if I am multiplying it with the 4, this quantity I should divide this 4. So we can say here the number we are multiplying to the first quantity, same number should be divided to the second quantity. That is the meaning of this statement. Now next second point is their product is constant. What does that mean? Product means multiplication. When two quantities are in inverse proportion, then their product is always constant. That's x into y is constant. Same value will be in every values. If we have a set of values, for each value, for each set of values, the product will be the constant. Whereas when x and y were in direct proportion, what happened there? X by y, that is the ratio of the two quantities, was constant. But in inverse proportion, we have the product of the two quantities is constant. And the third is the graph is a reciprocal graph. What is the reciprocal graph? It's like this. Graph will be like this. When the two quantities are in inverse proportion, graph will be the reciprocal graph. This is x, this is y. When we are plotting the graph between the two quantities, it will be like this. Now let's start the exercise 2. You can see it page number 9. Please see the exercise 2. The first question is the time it takes an object to travel a fixed distance is shown in the table. You can see in the table we have the time. In the first row we have the time in seconds, that's 4, 8, 10 and 15. And in the second row we have the speed, that's 150, 75, 60, 40. Now first part of the question is asking, first part, are time and speed inversely proportion? Give a reason for your answer. So we need to check whether time and speed, they are in inverse proportion. So what we will do here, we will find here the product in each column, that is the multiplication. The first column is 4 into 150, that is 4 into 150, it is 600. The second column is 8 into 75. You can see it is also the 600. The third column is 10 into 60. That is 600. And the last column is 15 into 40. That is also 600. So you can see from the table, from every column, the product of the two quantities is 600. So we know when the product of two quantities is same, that is x. For example, I have already explained in the inverse proportion, if we have the product of the two quantities same, they are in the inverse proportion. So I can say here they are in the inverse proportion. Yes, speed and yes time and speed are in inverse proportion, because the product of time and speed is constant for each set of values, or in each case. This is the first part of the question. Now see the second part, B part. If the time taken is 12 seconds, what is the speed? You can see we can write T into V. That's time into, sorry, S is T into S. We can write here is equal to 4 into 150. Because they are in the inverse proportion, we can write T into S is equal to 4 into 150. So that is T into S equals to 600. I can write S is equal to 600 divided by T. This is the formula that connects S and T. You can see from the table what I'm saying, what I'm writing here. The product of the two quantities will be equal to the product of two values, like a T into S is equal to 4 into 150, that's 600. Then we are solving it for S. We are getting the speed is equal to 600 divided by T, time. This we are getting the relation. The B part is saying if the time taken is 12 seconds, what is the speed? So I will write S is equal to 600. I will substitute the value of T as 12. I will get 12 ones are 12 5 zeros are. So speed is equal to 50 meter per second. Check the units. What are units used in the question? That is meter per second. It's not the kilometer per hour. So this is the answer of the first question. Now question number 2. From the same exercise, you can see in the textbook, it is the number of burgers sold each day by Ben's Burger Bar is inversely proportional to the temperature. Copy and complete this table. From the first question and second question, you can see the difference. First question, it was not written there. The given data is in inverse proportion. But in the second question, it is written there the given data, the temperature and the number of burgers sold, that's N, they are in the inverse proportion. In the first question, it was not given. In the first question, we were asked whether T and S are in inverse proportional or not. Give reasons for that. But here, we have been asked to complete the values, and we know the given data is in inverse proportional. So we can say the product of two quantities will be the same for every set of values. So let's see how we will complete this. Here let it be A, or I can say let it be X, this Y, this Z, this W. Now you can see it is the first part of the question. To complete this table, I can say here I can write X into 10 equals to, this is X into 10 equals to 25 into 240. That's product of these two will be equal to product of these two. So that is X into 10 equals to, or simply I can do transposition, X equals to 25 into 240 divided by 10. I will get X equals to 600. So here it is the 600 answer. Now for the next, it's Y into 375 equals to 25 into 240. That is Y equals to, this is 6,000. 6,000 divided by 375. So Y equals to 16. So here I will get the 16 answer. Now the next one, it is Z into 300 equals to, we know the product of these two, that's 25 into 240. Or I can write directly, it is it's 6,000. That is Z equals to 6,000 product of these two values divided by 300. So I can write Z is equal to 20. So here it is the 20. Now next is the W, that is 30 into W is equal to 25 into 240. That is W equals to, it is 6,000 divided by 300. You can get W is equal to 200. So here the answer is 200. So this is the first part. You can see in the textbook the question, read the question and see the question, what is the condition given in the question. The given condition was they are in inverse proportion. That's why we are writing directly the product of the two quantities. Now next B part. Find the formula connecting T and N. We need to find the formula connecting T and N. That's very easy. T into N is equal to any set of values we can take. Any set of values. I will take 25 into the given value 240. So T into N equals to 6,000. This is the formula connecting T and N. Very easy. T into N. We can take 10 into 600, 16 into this. For every set of values we will get the 6,000. Now next part C is plot a graph to show this data. How to plot a graph? You have to plot the graph like on the x-axis. Now part C is to plot a graph for the given values. What is that? So like this, you need to plot a graph. On x-axis, this is y-axis, you will show the temperature in degrees Celsius. On along the y-axis, you will show the number sold. Here you can take the values 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. 25 and 30. And here you can take the values from 0, 100, 200, 300 and it's 400, 500, 600. Then what you will do, you will plot these points and that will be the required graph. Now from the graph you can see when the temperature approaches 0, what happens? The sales increases. So when the temperature increases, temperature increases. When temperature increases, sales decreases. When temperature decreases, approach to the 0, that means coming towards to the 0, the sales, what happens to the sales? Sales increases. That is unrealistic. Yeah, that means from the graph you can see the sales increases without limit, which is unrealistic. See the question number 3. It has been estimated that it took 4,000 men 30 years to build the largest pyramid at Giza in Egypt over 4,500 years ago. Assuming the number of men and the time taken are in inverse proportion. Now you can see from the question, it's number of years and men. Question is saying us about the men and number of years. How many years it took for 4,000 men to complete the pyramid in Egypt? You can see it has been estimated that 4,000 men has completed it in 30 years. Assuming the number of men and the time taken are in inverse proportion. Now they are saying number of men and the time. It's number of men and the time. They are in inverse proportion. When they are in inverse proportion, what happens? It means if we are multiplying this number, we should divide this number. If we are dividing this number, we should divide the same number to this 30 because they are in inverse proportion. Now coming to the part A. What is part A? How long would it take? Would it have taken with 6,000 men? Now the A part is saying if there are 6,000 men, how long it would take to complete the pyramid? And the B part is saying if the same pyramid we are going to build in 10 years, how many men are required? Now you can see here, I will take this, it's X and it's Y. For A part, I will write the solution. We know the two quantities are in inverse proportion. I can write here x into 6000 is equal to 30 into 4000. That means product of these two quantities will be equal to product of these two quantities. So x equals to 3 4s are, it is 12, 0 0 0 divided by 6000. You can see 3 zeros cut, 6 ones are, 6 twos are, so x is equal to 20. So 20 years. For the first part it is 20 years answer. And for the B part, writing the solution, I can write y into 10 equals to 4000 into 3 30. 4000 into 30, that is y equals to 4 threes are, it's 12, and 4 zeros divide by 10, 0 0 cancel, so I can write y is equal to 12,000. What is 12,000? It is men. So 12,000 men are required to build the same pyramid, similar pyramid in 10 years. So you can see from here we have calculated these values. There is one more rule, same. I will write number of men, number of men, number of years. You can see here number of men, number of years. So first is number of men, it's 40,000, and here it is 30 years. And the A part is saying how many men are there, 6,000. We need to find this number of years. And the B part is saying same pyramid we are going to construct, build, and number of years are 6 and 10. How many men are required? Now you can see here, for example, this is x and this is y. To find this value, what we will do, I will write directly for A part, x into 6000 equals to 30 into 4000. So that is x equal to 30 into 4000 divided by 6000, and you will get same x equals to 20 years. And once again, this y into 10 equals to 4000 into 30. That is y equals to 4000 into 30 divided by 10. Y equals to, same answer you will get, that is 12,000 men. Now from these examples, you can understand the concept, the inverse proportion. When the given data is in inverse proportion, how we can calculate the answer, how we can write the answer of the questions. First we need to understand what are the two quantities. For example, here number of men and number of years. Then we should see what are the two values, that is 4000 and second is 30. And now we will see the part A and part B. What is in part A and what is in part B. I can also form the table like this. Then I can use my logic. What is the logic? That is, the product of this column will be equal to product of this column will be equal to product of this column. Then we will find the unknown values. That's very easy. It's very easy. Same logic you have to use everywhere. In the question number 4, it is also given they are the two quantities are in inverse proportion. Here time t and speed s is in inverse proportion. It's also very easy. Now coming to the next question, that's 5th and 6th. Now see the question number 5. It's the Forth Bridge is a famous bridge over the Firth of Forth in Scotland. It was recently repainted and it took a team of 400 painters 10 years to complete. So question is saying about the painters and the number of years. It's a bridge and 400 painters are painting it in 10 years. Now here it is not given whether it is in inverse proportion or direct proportion. Now we can use the common sense here. What the common sense says? Common sense says if painters will increase, number of years will decrease. If number of years will increase, then painters will decrease. Now you can use here the common sense. So we can say by using the common sense, the given data is in inverse proportion. So look at the first part of the question. It's if 250 painters had been used, how long would it have taken? The part A is saying if 250 painters would have been used, how long it would have taken. And part B is saying how many painters would have been needed to complete the work in 8 years. So it is giving 8 years. If there were only 8 years, how many workers, how many painters were required? So this we need to find. Here I will keep this as x, this as y. How to find this? We know the given data is in inverse proportion, so I will write the answer for A. It is, I can write x into 250, product of these two quantities will be equal to, that is 10 into 400. That is x equals to 4000 divided by 250. So you can get here the value 0 0 cancel, and it's 25. It is 116. So the answer for the part A is 16 years. So if 250 painters were used, then it would have taken 16 years. Now the second part, B part, you can see I will write y into 8. Product of these two will be equal to product of these two. That's 400 into 10. Y equals to, it's 4000 divided by 8. 8 ones are 8 fives are. So y equals to 500 workers or painters. So here the answer is 500 painters. So 500 painters will complete the same work in 8 years. This is the answer of the part B. Now you can see the sixth one. In the sixth one, the food in Luke's bird feeder lasts for 3 days when 200 birds. So first it is time and birds. Time is 3 days. Time is in days. Time is 3 days and birds are 200. So what it is saying, the food in feeder lasts for 3 days when 200 birds will come. And Luke thinks these two quantities are inversely proportional. So they are in inversely proportional. What does that mean? If this is increased by number, this will be decreased by the same number. That's if it is doubled, it will be halved. Now part A, assuming Luke is correct, how many days the food will last if only 150 birds visit? So A, if 150 birds visit, how many days the food will last? And for B, if 300 birds visit per day, the food lasts for 2 days. Is Luke's assumption correct? We should give the reason. Here it is, if 2 days, time is 2 days and birds are 300. Since they are in inverse proportion, we will check. For first one, we will check like this. We will check, let it be x. X into 150 equals to 3 into 200. So x equals to 600 divided by 150. It is x equals to 4 days. So if only 150 birds will come per day, the food will last for 4 days. Now we will check this assumption. If the two are equal, then Luke is correct. 3 into 200 is equal to 600, and 2 into 300, this is also equal to 600. So we can say Luke is correct. Luke is correct. The reason for the question we will give, because product of each set of values is same, or this is also the reason. We can write till here also. This was the question number 6 from the exercise 2.